All right. So welcome everybody to our April staff meeting. Those of you who have signed in, great. If you haven't yet, comment box, just sign your name so I can know that you were in attendance. It works towards your bonuses and your PTO at the end of the year, as well as the raffle prizes that Eden picks out at the end. So make sure you put your name in there for us. Super Staff Member of the Month, Miss Kimberly Ray. We want to say congratulations to her. She's an educator who pours her heart and soul into the classroom, dedicated to learning as much as she can to provide a quality NC Pre-K program that best serves her students and families. She is brand new to that position. She's learning as she's going with the support of her co-teacher. She's a supportive coworker and teaching partner, thoughtful when addressing student needs, and an advocate for all. So congratulations to Miss Kim at Holly Ridge. And Miss Zaria Hagler, we want to say congratulations to her. She has learned a great deal throughout her time with Needs for Equality. She takes constructive feedback to heart and shows improvement and growth after receiving instruction from mentor teachers. She's caring and considerate towards all students, not afraid to dive in and engage with students of all ages. So congratulations to her as well. I'm going to have their certificates for them, and because all of our gift cards, a lot of them, there was a lot of fraud happening. So now they get cashola. So Joyce and I will be handing that out with the raffle prizes, which are still gift cards, because apparently anyone just wants to commit fraud on $100 versions of gift cards, not the $15 ones. So, and if you ever get one that doesn't work, tell me, because I won't know if you don't tell me, and then I can replace it. Okay, we want to welcome to Needs for Equality and Holly Ridge Quality, Miss Morgan. She is a flex teacher learning all different classrooms and age groups, and Miss Rebecca as a flex teacher, again, learning different ages, different classroom experiences, and that way they can kind of find where they feel most comfortable, where we think they do well, and then we'll have a conversation about what's a great fit for them as a permanent position. This newsletter put together by Miss Ruby for April. We have our spring festival that's coming up on Saturday. Many of you expressed that you're going to be working the event with us, so thank you very much. And we have registration is open for NC Pre-K and 3 schools. So if you know of interested families, military income-wise and active IEPs are how they get into NC Pre-K. For 3 school, it's much more strict on the income is only what they're basing it on, but it doesn't hurt to apply. So we encourage everyone to apply, and that way their information is in the system at one place, and it is up to one place to conduct their little rating scale of how they choose people for placement. We have no say on where people get placed, but we recommend that everyone apply. And when they apply, they can put Needs for Equality and Holly Ridge Quality as their choices if they'd like. Otherwise, there's quite a few other options for NC Pre-K. And then 3 school, I think the closest other option is Jacksonville. Dates to remember, we're already almost at the 12th. But our spring festival is on the 12th. Onslow County spring break is the 14th through the 18th, so NC Pre-K and 3 school teachers will not be in attendance, and we will have their students for wraparound in different parts of the buildings. April 18th and the 21st, the center is closed for Holly Ridge and Needs for Equality. The Holly Ridge Quality Picture Day is the following week, and then Parents Night Out is April 25th, and the sign up is on the front counter for those parents who are interested. Summer registration. We have some spots left at both sites, not many. If you are a staff member who wanted to use our summer camp program for your school ager, please make sure you have told us, because we aren't reserving any more spots for staff members. So if you didn't tell us and you're not on that registration form on online, just let us know. We'll send you the link so you can register your children and get their spots. We want all our staff members to have spots, and then we'll give the other spots that are available to other people. Drop-off times. There's a reminder on every newsletter, but if you notice that there are staggering in families and they're getting later and later and later past that 9:30 mark, please let me know and I will kindly speak with them. I am someone who breaks that rule quite often, so my teachers can talk to me and yell at me because I bring my kids in at almost 10 o'clock some days. But the other parents, those are the ones we want to get on. So we want to make sure that they arrive and bring their children so that they can experience instructional time, they can experience outdoor time, and their day is structured appropriately. Showing up late and then they just go straight to eating and rest time. Those kids are not getting what they need instructionally, and there's a lot of learning happening, even in our itty bitty classrooms. So this is for the Spring Festival. This is the flyer that Miss Barbie put together for us. It goes through all the things that will be there, and then there's a ton more that will be joining as well. Coastal Buddy Builders had to cancel today because the person who was coming had an emergency, so they won't be able to build their buddies, but we're going to see if they can come for the trunk or treat in October. This is important for staff members who want to bring their children. Please bring your kids and enjoy it. Enjoy the whole day. If you're bringing them for some of the day and someone's taking them home and you want to work part of it, that's fine with me. But if you are working, you cannot be supervising your children. It's just not safe. So if you're working, you're actively working. If you're with your family, you're with your family. So just keep that in mind. I encourage you to work. You can work a Saturday and get some extra cash. But if you're going to be with your kids, enjoy the time with your children. And then if you want to work another portion of the day because they're being supervised by another adult, that's fine with me. The sign-in sheet, I'm going to have it on top of the mailboxes that morning. So just make sure you sign in and you sign out because that's how we know to pay you for your separate job for that Saturday. Okay, so some of you did fill this out, total of 7 people, and I would love for more of you to fill it out because every year it's so informative. We really get down to what people are thinking and what they're feeling without them feeling judged at all because it's anonymous if you want it to be anonymous. If you want us to know it was you who filled it out, there's a section where your name goes. Otherwise, don't fill that section out, and it could have been anybody who filled it out. Be honest. This is your chance to really lay it all out there for us. We can work towards success. We can work towards making your work environment more enjoyable. We can address those issues that you didn't want to bring up for some reason, and this is your opportunity to do so. And it doesn't take very long. It just is something that is so invaluable to us as administration and Joyce and myself as owners that we want to make sure that you have a voice and you are heard. So the link is there, but I'll also put it in the Teams so you have it pinned with the other pinned items as well. You were copying awesome. I talked about this last month. We wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity. Thank you for the suggestion, Miss Madison E, to really see someone doing something awesome and highlight them. So there are little slips on top of the mailboxes in the plastic drawer. You can fill one out for a fellow coworker. I would encourage you to give it to myself or Ruby first in our mailboxes. That way we can add the little treat to it. We can see what you acknowledged for that one person, and then we'll put it in their mailbox once we put the treat with it and really get to enjoy and credit that person for something they did that was highlighted by you. So I appreciate those who did take some sheets and they are working on catching someone being awesome. So we ask that if you do receive one, you display it somewhere that you work frequently. If you're not in a classroom and you're a flex teacher, the classrooms that you frequent the most, or you can put it in the office. We'll find a space that would be great to display those. Oop. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Lesson plans. The lesson plans that I've been checking, I have noticed that they are a little too short and sweet sometimes. So I ask that, and I know Miss Ruby stresses this all the time, that they are turned in that Friday before, ideally the Thursday before, so that she can review it or I can review it. It has to be dated for the week it's for. If you are planning to extend the lesson plan over 2 or 3 weeks, that's fine with me, but you have to have the current week on the top of the lesson plan. You can't cross it out and then write new dates over it. You can't do that. Kim Sherry will have a conniption. So you have to make sure that it is a new date on the top. Doesn't look like you crossed anything out, whited anything out, and it has the teachers' names on it. Very importantly, NC Foundations, if you look here on the screen, I have a screenshot for you. It is an online PDF. We have books of NC foundational standards, and we want to make sure that you know, if you've taken NC foundations, you should know how to identify what the standard is that best fits the activities you're implementing. 1 or 2 standards is really all you need at the bottom of each activity, just to identify that you know what goals you're working on for your specific developmental age group. So developmentally, you might have children of one age group in different ranges. So you might need to separate the activities and scaffold it where you have it a little more difficult for these kids, but you have it more simplified and guided for these children. And that's how good teachers do it. They make sure that they're always watching and observing their students. And you know where they are developmentally, where they are ready for the next activity. And that way you can challenge them and you can get them to where they need to be and where you want them to go before they graduate and go to kindergarten. So my request is that you have the what and the why or how. So if you have infants and they're going to use their pincers, so those older infants who are grabbing things in the classroom, they're picking up maybe play scarves. You have them laid on the mat and they're picking up play scarves or grabbing them from the teacher's hands. That is in itself an activity. That is part of NC foundational standards for those infants, and you're finding a fun way to engage them. You can talk about the colors of the scarves. You can talk about that you're using your fingers to pick up a scarf from my hand. You're just talking to them. That in itself is a whole lesson with an infant. It is that simple. It is just writing it on the lesson plan, and it can repeat itself. You're going to work on this maybe with each infant in the room who is at that developmental stage. And when we have AIDERS lesson plans, you're writing their initials in each box to show the developmental stages that are appropriate within the lesson plan for those children. When we get into the older children, for example, these twos, you can do it that way as well for our young twos. You have initials of each child, say you're doing Adam, and he is like middle of the range of our twos. He's still developing these standards and these skills. So we're going to moderately challenge him. And then the other children might have more things that are more challenging, developmentally challenging, and then other children can need more guided support. But to be able to determine which children need what when you're working in small groups with them, when you're joining them in center activities, you have a purpose in that center. You have a goal for those children. That's what we want to see. If you're working with your young preschoolers, ages 2.5 and older, you're doing a lesson plan or activity plan that doesn't have those initials anymore. You have an overarching goal for your whole class, but in your brains, you're also thinking, okay, so this group of kids, they're going to need it scaffolded. They need it broken down more. This group of kids, they need a bit of more challenge. They're independent learners. Maybe they can help teach those scaffolded friends and help guide them. So just making sure that you understand where your students are and how to write your activity plans. If you are unsure of how to write lesson plans still, or you need a little more guidance, that's what we're here for. Please reach out to us or find a fellow co-teacher, lead teacher. Everyone would be happy to help guide you. We just want to set aside time for you to be able to do that. Oh, and I have a link at the bottom for NC Foundations if you want the PDF access. Okay, parking. I wish we had bigger parking lots, but we don't. So the House of Breakfast has kindly asked us not to park at their lot. It is busy season for them, so they're going to need many of their parking spaces. The front of our building where parents drop off is not for people to park for the workday. It is for you to drop off your children, get back in your vehicle, and then go to work. So when we go to work, I park in between our second building and the main building, like right behind where the buses are. There's a strip of parking spots. No one from the House of Breakfast parks there, so you may join me there if you choose to. Next to Cancun and our second building, there are tons of spots in the morning. Coming back from lunch might be a little difficult because of the lunch crew who come in to eat at Cancun. But that lot, the one between our two buildings and the one furthest towards the street in front of our building, those are all up for grabs. But the one right in front where you're parking in front of the front door, please don't park there. Please don't leave your vehicle there for the day. It is for parent drop off and pickup. If you are a parent, I encourage you to use it, but then you do have to drive to work and go park in a different section so that it frees it up for everybody else. We have delivery trucks coming. The trash truck comes, and if you're parking in front of that dumpster, I mean, at your own risk because we cannot say they won't whack your car. And we got some pretty cars in this lot. So please be cautious. Please be aware of where you're parking. Making up a spot on the grass may not be in your best interest if it's not on our property because I cannot tell you you will not get towed. And House of Breakfast, they don't really like us too much. So just make sure you're not in their regular parking lot. Your menus will be passed out Thursday or Friday of every week, and we ask that you post them in preparation for the Monday that's coming. Whiteboards should always be updated. So when a new child comes in the morning, you greet them by name, you ask how they did last night, or hey, how's your morning going? And then you go write them on the board. Please don't entrust the writing to the parents if they're not a staff member to do it correctly. You are in charge of that board. You want to make sure your counts are accurate. And after each child who comes in or each small group of children who come in, you're updating that board so that Miss Pam has accurate numbers and you have accurate numbers, especially in case of emergency. You are charging tablets and walkies each evening. The loose walkies are everywhere. So if your classroom does not have 2 walkies locked in place, please make sure you go get another walkie and fill up those 2 spots and make sure the red lights are on so they're charging. Without a walkie, you have no communication with the front office. So please make sure you get those walkies charged. You have a nap time list, should be posted in each classroom. A lot of those nap time list things, the chores, duties, those things should be done. They're very simple. Some of them are short and sweet, but it helps you maintain your classroom. Miss Barbie made it into a calendar for us. So you just really do one thing each day, 1 or 2 small things each day, and it'll help you maintain a well-organized classroom. Your supply list should be to Brittany in that little clear plastic bag by each Wednesday. Please make sure that if you'd like things purchased for a lesson plan, you are planning 2 weeks in advance. Don't tell me the week before you need butterflies because butterflies tend to take 3 weeks and then sometimes they cancel the order of the butterflies. And then we get no butterflies and I have to realize that they canceled the order by going back into Amazon. So if you need something, please make sure it's at least 2 weeks in advance. Your purses and your phones, we had everyone sign the phone contract. If you did not sign the phone use agreement, please come see the office because we're going to come track you down anyway. We want to make sure you understand the agreement because it is just so important to supervision. You look down at a cell phone, that's it. Your supervision is no longer, it's not active. So we want to make sure that your cell phones are put away. You are using the tablets when you need to communicate with families, when you're taking pictures of students. I understand you want to use your phones to take pictures. I want to say there are times you can, but then I'm going to have people who take advantage. So I'm very conflicted because I know our phones take fantastic pictures compared to those tablets. So if you're taking pictures that you want printed, you're taking pictures for gifts for families, just let me know that that's what's happening because we want to make sure that you are actively supervising. And if you're taking pictures of one child at a time, you're not actually supervising the rest of the class. So if you tell me, hey, I'm going to take pictures of all my kids for Easter gifts for the family today, we'll do our best to make sure that you have that extra eye and set of eyes on the classroom so that you're not neglecting the rest of the crew while trying to take a cute picture of one child at a time. Okay, schedules.
Something to that before you go on to the next thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
2 things. Like you said about telling us, also be aware if Kim happens to be in the building, if she walks in, you don't know she's there, and she does see your phone out, you can say that you were taking pictures. She will check. So don't say you're doing something if you're not really doing it.
Yeah, she's checked before.
Also, there was a discrepancy or a gray area as far as the telephones go recently in one of the classrooms where children were down and they were laying down. Somebody was on their phone. They had a child on their lap. So it's kind of a gray area because they were down for a nap. But once you choose to pick up that child and engage with that child, play with that child, you're keeping them up because somebody's picking them up, whatever the case may be, you are now not able to be on your phone. It is only when they are all down for a nap.
Yeah. Once you choose to engage with the student, like say they're a little restless, that phone has to go away, your laptop has to go away, and then you're fully engaged with the child or the children in the room. Thank you, because I forgot to mention that. So so for your schedules, I just want to make sure when you go to your classrooms, double check for me. If you'd like Ruby or I to check your schedules for you, we'd be happy to. But there's been some issues with schedules in classrooms. And we want to make sure that everything aligns to your daily routines. Does it align with your daily routines? Really go through and say, oh, do we spend this much time in transition for this activity? Are we spending our full hour outside, or is there something that's preventing us from getting that full hour? Really think about these things. Write it on your schedule for me, and I will edit. I'll work with you, and we'll try to figure out how to best integrate what you need every day and make it flow well. With your free choice activities, you need 6.5 hours of free choice in a 12-hour day of childcare in North Carolina. We are open 12 hours. So ideally, everyone should have at least 6.5 hours scheduled. That doesn't mean you're just going to have free choice, free choice, free choice. What I do is I integrate it into breakfast. I integrate it into when we're transitioning, because you're going to have some kids doing free choice still while you're sending others to go potty. And in that aspect, you're getting your 6.5 hours every day, and we're just kind of popping it in on your schedule to make sure that whoever comes to check will see it is in there and they do have free choice. Are you accounting for transition times? Does it really only take you 10 minutes for 20 children to go potty, or is it longer? So we have to make sure that we're accounting for that, because when someone does come in to check and observe, they're going to say, oh, you went over 25 minutes for transitions of pottying, but you were also doing these components. You were reading stories to your friends. They were still doing center time, but that has to be plugged in, written into your schedule. That is also the time for potties. If you're doing block potty time. If you don't do block potty time and everyone just kind of goes when they need to go, then you don't have to include that in the schedule. If you have summer changes to your schedule, many teachers have asked if they could flip-flop their outdoor time every other week with the other age group. I mean, the other classroom of that age group. So say I'm in the threes, and Miss Cheyenne and Miss Megan's class, they have 9 o'clock outdoor time, but they're asking if they can flip flop with room 7. I'm just making this up, to go out and do their water play and have it at 10 one week and then have it at 9 the next week. And that way they get more time at least every other week doing their water play. Because I understand changing everybody out of water play clothes can be quite a task, especially if you've never done it before. So alternating those schedules, I'm totally fine with that, but we do have to have the schedule reflect that. So if you guys come to an agreement, or if you want me to voice that to the other classroom, I'd be happy to, and we'll make sure your schedules reflect that. Closing checklists. Our closers have been doing a fantastic job. Ms. Susan seems very happy with how things are left in the classroom. If you are an opener and you notice some things are awry, please let us know so we can address them, because we have new closers, we have new staff members, and they just need to be aware of what the expectations are, because if you don't know, you don't know. Parent-teacher conferences, we're going to start them May 12th. So you have until, hopefully, the week before May 12th, you should be all done with your observations and your ASQs. If you need help with those ASQs, please tell us now. I know Ruby's been printing them off. Brittany's been making copies for people. I've seen teachers coming in to make copies and actually conduct their ASQs in their classrooms. Many classrooms have 3 teachers. Use that third teacher to do meaningful activities with other children while you assess 1 or 2 children at a time for your ASQs. And that way you are banging them out and your children are not suffering because they're not getting additional instruction. You have a plan. Your co-teacher and your flex teacher who have joined you, they have a mission. And you are then assessing your other children. Co-teachers and lead teachers, you are welcome to share the responsibility of ASQs. I encourage you, if you've never done ASQs before, say, hey, I'd like to do a few. and then you guys can split them up. And the more experience you have, the more kind of collaboration you share with this job of ASQs, your children are better for it because you may see things in that child that the other teacher just hadn't had a chance to notice yet. So collaborating and completing the ASQs together and your anecdotal notes together is so beneficial. Even if you're not both able to speak with the families at a phone conference, at least that data is there for the conference. We're going to do all phone conferences unless the parents or the teachers find it necessary to do an in-person conference. And all in-person conferences will involve an administrator. So that means we got things we got to talk about. We need therapies. We need to make sure that we're on the same page. We have concerns. We want to make sure that we are doing the best we can to support this child so they can prepare for kindergarten and the family is on board. So that's why we do in person, because you can't do 20 in-person conferences when you're working in early childhood. So phone conferences are number one choice for us. And the portfolios, I've had questions about portfolios before. They don't have to be crazy. They can just be one of our manila folders. You can have a binder that you just kind of put everyone's ASQs in, little things that you've collected on them. And that way you have their portfolios you can pass on to us when they leave you, or you can bring it to the next teacher who's going to have that child. Whatever works best for you. If it goes to the office, it goes in their file, so it's safe and secure. So I do suggest that you bring it to the office once you're done with your conferences. And that way we have everything for that child and we can show the progression and growth over the years they've been with us because it's all in their file in the office. Okay, interested. Oh, so I was going to show you this video, but I don't have enough time. If you are a teacher who is conducting parent-teacher conferences, please watch this video. It is conscious discipline video. It goes over components about when you're dealing with a child who builds your frustration, and then when you're in that feeling of frustration, you're like, why are they doing this to me? Why are they doing this to the other students? It's really a cry for help from that child, right? They can't express themselves. They're doing things and projecting out because they don't have the words yet. So when you're discussing with the parents and you say, oh, Mikey threw blocks again today. He's been throwing blocks a lot, and we got to work on not throwing blocks. That's not constructive to the parents. It's something that's just going to make them feel terrible. They don't have answers. You don't have the answers for them. You're kind of just throwing it out there so that they can share in the misery. So we need to have productive conversations. If you have concerns about a child who is throwing blocks, we need to think about, okay, why is this child throwing blocks? How can we support them so that they choose other ways to express themselves than throw blocks? Because obviously they're throwing blocks for a reason, right? If we say, oh, it was unprompted, oh, there's no reason. There is still a reason. It's just much harder to identify that reason. We have biters. Our biters are biting for a reason. They may not be because they're frustrated. It may be unprompted. They're just seeking someone out, but it could be because molars are coming in. It could be because they witnessed another child start biting. They saw the attention and now they're reciprocating. I want that as well. It could be any reason, but we have to identify it. That's why ABC charts are so helpful. If you are filling out ABC charts because you have a concern about a child, you're already in the right direction. But that means we already had a conversation with the family, identifying what our concerns are. Hey, we're concerned because they are using physical action instead of being able to express themselves, even though we've been working with them on trying to use their big voice and sharing what they want from their friends without using their hands or their feet to kick them or hit them. So we want to keep track so we can identify what are the triggers, what are the times of day, and what were the actions, then the consequences in each situation. So with all of that, we're able to build up a little portfolio of understanding where this child is, and then maybe we can support them with therapies in the classroom and at home. Developmental stage. So this is my tip sheet for parent-teacher conferences. If you've never done a parent-teacher conference, please come see me before you start your first one because it can be nerve-wracking. I remember my first few years of teaching. I'm a little Asian lady and I was intimidated by a lot of my parents. Intimidated. I mean, I was young, they were older, and they seemed like they knew what they were talking about, even though I was working with their kids every day. If they told me no, that's not the truth, oh yeah, you're right. That's not what's happening at all in my classroom. And I lost it. I didn't know what I was talking about anymore. I got so intimidated. So you have to really plan out what you're going to say. You want to put in those positives first. Build that build that relationship with them, get them to understand and trust that you have their child's best interest in mind. And then you're going to proceed with where we are, learning goals, where we want to be with the learning goals, and how we're going to get there. So all those components are going to be seamless and transition well. And then at the end, we also end with a positive about their child. So we're doing that sandwich technique, right? Positive, all of our goals, and then a positive about their child. If you can't think of two positives about this child, come see me. I will help you think of a positive and we will fluff up those sentences so you've got one in your brains when you're talking about these kids. All right. All right, there we go. When signing up for parent-teacher conferences, now you're not going to put this out right now. I would wait till the first week in May, and that way you have ideally 10 days for parents to sign up, maybe even the last week in April if you want. But you're going to set aside chunks of time you can use a phone and we can get you coverage. So those times would be between 9 a.m. or 9:15 a.m. and right before that active rest time when we start doing lunch coverages. Those are the ideal times. Now, if you have active rest and you and your co-teacher switch off at these specific times every day to go to lunch and you have that opportunity to go on the phone, then include that time as well. But if it's not guaranteed, please double check with us because we can't say we're going to be able to provide you coverage at 3 p.m. That is crazy time. That's transitions, buses, and all kinds of things time. Anything before 9 a.m., we can't promise the coverage. So you just have to make sure that you are mindful about what we can do to support you so you can have a productive conversation with the families. Yes, the developmental stage of biting is toddlers, and then some threes, they even say, Amy's comment. Parent-teacher conferences, I have a bunch of different forms. So if you want a suggestion on how parents should sign up, just ask. I have that simple T-chart they can fill out, but I also have slips you can personalize for families that you really do want to speak with. So you want to show them the most availability so that they talk to you on the phone. Where some families are just like, I'm good, I don't need to sign up. And those are the ones you need to talk to. So we don't want any pushback. We want to make sure we are available and we're doing this for you. And you're going to talk to us on the phone, maybe even come in for an in-person conference. So during conference, this is very important, and I want to make sure that you have one for each family you speak with because it is record keeping, and we need it to make sure that we showed what we did for this child, especially if they're on the path for maybe an IEP referral. Perhaps we just want to make sure that we have this on record for other reasons as well. What we discussed and the next steps, questions or concerns from teacher or from the family, and then we want them to sign the bottom. That is if it's in person. You can just write phone conference there if they weren't in person and it was on the phone. And that way you have that record keeping that you did speak with them. The do's and don'ts are here for you. Just look it over if you're conducting conferences. Okay, incident reports. We wanted to put this because there have been quite a few that have not been completed correctly. And these are legal documents. They can be used in a court of law. They can be used with our consultant. And we can take them out and present them, and they have to be done accurately. So blue or black pen only. Please make sure you fill out the child's full name right here where it says name of injured child, full name, their age, and you can find all of this behind the whiteboard for each classroom. So if you're subbing in a room, every kid's first and last name, and I believe their birth dates are on the meal program form that's taped to the back of the whiteboard. If you don't have an updated one, ask us, we'll print it, or you can copy the one that you get for next week and tape it right there to the back. You're going to circle the type of injury. So you're going to tick one of these boxes. Mikey got a bump on his forehead. So you see how I circled each component. Okay, so you're going to have to check a box and then circle the accurate information. First aid on site is usually what you're going to do if we're giving them an ice pack. And then none of these are typically going to be marked unless it is something that involves EMS care, emergency care. And the witness was me. I saw it, or maybe I reviewed the video. If it was the teacher or a flex teacher, you're writing your names there. And then here, piece of equipment involved. I pretended Mikey ran into the play structure, so that's why I checked play structure. He tripped over his own 2 feet, maybe, or his shoelaces, and they were on the playground. Then down here, it's just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. Michael was running around the playground structure, slipped and fell into the wooden post on the side of the structure. He hit his forehead. There, just facts. Steps prevent reoccurrence. I mean, kids are clumsy, but I can't write that. So instructed Michael to watch where he runs and to run with lifting his toes and feet to prevent tripping. I don't know. Lift your feet higher, Mikey, and then you probably won't fall so often. Or we tied his shoes. I don't really know what happened, but that's my guess and my imagination story. Form completed by me, my first and last name as well. We notify them on the ProCare app. So you're always going to check phone app. Please make sure you snap a picture and put it into ProCare. On the there's an incident page and there's a picture portion. Doesn't matter. It goes for the same feed. So I suggest the picture portion because it's a little more straightforward. And then they get this and they know, hey, this is there for you to sign today. It will be, where is it? Is it in the pocket, the take-home pocket? Is it going to be folded and magnetized to the door frame? Just tell them where so they're not on a wild goose chase for this incident report. And then you're going to write down where and when you notified them on ProCare and you sign. This is for the parent. Okay. And these are white and yellow carbon copy. We take the white copy. So you might want to write that down in your message to them. Most parents already know we kind of need the inked copy, but in the end, it really doesn't matter. We just prefer the white copy for legal reasons. Okay. This is a non-injury incident report form. So this is if the child was not injured, but they may have caused an injury or they were intentional in their actions. And we want to notate this. We want a record of it. It's a longer version of an ABC chart, snid like a little portion of that. So it's a little more in depth. Same deal, date, time, full name of child, my name, maybe my position would be relevant and helpful there. Antecedent, what caused the behavior? So what was happening right before that child took action? Michael was playing in blocks. A student took a dinosaur from his space to play with. So the child wanted a dinosaur and they grabbed it. Behavior, what did Mikey do? Explicitly state what was witnessed, exclude emotions and other children's names. Michael hit the other student and pulled the dinosaur from their hands. Michael screamed, "Hey, that was mine." So if I witnessed all this, I'm going to put it down explicitly and what happened verbatim. If another child tells me what happened, I have to write that I was informed, or maybe I needed administration to watch a video because we were unclear. Those are things that should be noted here so that the words from another child are not taken to heart. Consequences, what happened after? So consequence doesn't necessarily have to be I put the child in cozy to take a break. Maybe I immediately approached. This child can de-escalate quickly. So then I guided Michael to use calm body and his big kid voice to address the student. So we practiced together in that moment. They practiced together with the other student present on how to do those things and express themselves when a child takes the toy. And then we have to teach the other child to not just take, but to say, which dinosaur can I use? And then that way Mikey can be prompted to go ahead and share one or two of the dinosaurs. Okay, this is all about Tucker Turtle, and I wanted to show it to you because it's in action of what a teacher would do with Tucker Turtle. And Tucker Turtle is appropriate for ages 2 and up. It's about social.
Shannon,
Yeah.
can I say something about how important it is to take a picture of those and put it in ProCare? Because we will have parents that maybe forget to sign or don't return them. And then they say, well, I didn't know there was an issue. But if you have taken a picture of it and sent it home, maybe you're not there when the parents pick up, so they can't sign it immediately. Then you are covered because you have informed them that did go home. If grandma picked up and it was whatever, then at least still parents get to see it in ProCare. So taking that picture is really important and sending it that way.
Agreed, very
And then
much so.
also sending the copy home.
Yes. Yeah, so making sure that they see the picture because then it's with us forever. If they do take it home, it gets trashed by accident with the artwork. It's not lost forever because there's a picture of it on ProCare. Thank you, Miss Amy, for sharing that. Very good point. So I wanted to show you Tucker Turtle in action. This teacher throws in 2 teddy bears and some toys because she's going to show a conflict that she witnesses occur in her classroom. And Tucker the Turtle is going to use his strategies to help resolve this issue that he faces. So I wanted you to watch this and we'll talk about it. Oh, you're the worst. Why does it keep doing that? Teaching problem solving.
Let me see. Would you like to sit on the sun, Kai? Oh, it's on over here. Hello. Let's make a circle round like the sun. Oh dear, if you stand on the toys, look, they will break. Oh dear. Here, sitting down. Oh, sure, that's fine. Oh, Sophie, can I get you, my friend, to sit on the cat over there? Thank you so much. Oh, well, I think Isabel was there first. You can sit there, look, and then you can see. You will have a really good, you'll have a good view. Oh, good job, Patrick. Let me see. Okay, can you hold on to that Super Teddy for me? Let's do the Super Teddy story. Fairy Sophie. Let's do the Super Teddy story. And it's this one here. There's Tucker Turtle. Tucker Turtle came along to preschool in the morning and he was a kind bucket filler. He said hello to everybody. Hello. Hello, possums. Hello. And along came, what's this teddy's name? Who can tell me? Teddy Mary. And along came Teddy Mary. And Teddy Mary said, good morning, possums. Good morning. And along they came. Teddy Mary came over and she really liked playing with the cars. So she would set up all of the cars to play with. She had lots and lots of cars to play with. She was feeling very, very happy about that. She was playing with the cars. Brum, 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 brum. And along came our friend Tucker Turtle. Tucker Turtle looked over. He really wanted to play with those cars. He wanted some cars to play with. And look at him. How did he feel? He felt a bit angry and a bit frustrated. Well, Teddy, we're going to work out how Tucker does that. He looks frustrated. Look at his face. But thank you. What does he need to do? Take deep breaths. And he also thinks in his head, what does he think? Stop. Stop. Okay, ready? Help Tucker Turtle. Ready? Well done. Then he had a think. He was ready. Can you go get the solutions box, please, Isabel? What was Tucker Turtle ready to do? Use the solutions box. Bring the whole box over, Isabel. Oh, thank you. We just need the box for now. And he put the solutions box down. He got a this card. What does this one say? Please help me. He went over. Please help me. Please help me. Is that working? No. So he had another look and he found this card Here. Well done. Can we read it together? Which one can I play with? Can we say play with? So let's see what Tucker Turtle does. He goes over. Which one can I play with? Oh, is Teddy Mary looking at him? No. So he goes over and look what he does with a gentle touch. Can you tap yourself on the shoulder? Gentle. Goes and touches Teddy Mary on the shoulder. Then Teddy Mary looks at Tucker Turtle. Is she ready to listen to him? Yes. And he reads the card. Can you help Tucker Turtle? Which one can I play with? Teddy Mary had a think. I might give you, yes, you can have the blue one and the yellow one, but I really like playing with the purple one, so I'm going to keep the purple one to play with, and let me see, you can have this yellow one. Are they sharing the toys? Yes. All right. Oh, wait a minute, let's check. 1, 2, 3. How many does Mary have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Does Teddy Mary have to give Tucker Turtle all of the toys? No. No. He needs, Tucker Turtle asks her to say, which one can I play with? Are they both happy now? Yes. And let me see. Patrick, let's have a look. Where does our solutions box go? Patrick, can you take the solutions box and put it up on the shelf? Over there. That's right, on the shelf. Yep, right there. Well done. And then we know where it is. And, I have Kyan, can you put them in the car box? Thank you. Because we're going to have a quick look.
Okay. So I wanted to show that to you because it was Tucker Turtle. Oh, Madison E says.
You can go over to the photo.
Sorry.
Let's see. We have a problem. What's our problem? Yay.
Okay. Madison E says, I just love how well she engages with the kids during Tucker Turtle time. Yes, it seems like this has been routine for this class. She does it quite often. They do their social emotional mini lessons here on the carpet together, well established, and they know the solution cards. But that comes with time, and that comes with practice, and that comes with implementation. So if you haven't started yet, now is better than ever because we have Tucker Turtle puppets for you. We can print the Tucker Turtle stories. The lesson plans are there online for free for anybody from ages 2 and up. You can scaffold it to meet your young twos. You can and then challenge it to meet your almost graduating preschoolers. But it's a way for you to show children in a safe environment what the predicament looked like. Maybe you observe these children at the cars in blocks have a struggle. A child was playing with all the cars. Somebody else wanted a car, but didn't know how to ask. And that's when that snatching comes in. That's when the physical altercations come in because they don't have the communication skills. They don't know how to approach the situation. So it's our job to teach them. And it's so important just using this modeling for them, having the kids engaged. They were answering questions. You notice there was a little darling next to her that kept wanting to interject. She just talked over that child to address the rest of the students. Because as soon as she acknowledges that little girl next to her, she's in a conversation with that little girl. And then you get conversations with all the little children because they all want to interject. So it sometimes needs to happen where you talk over a child who wants to interject to make sure that everyone gets the message. Then you can ask later after that mini lesson, what did you want to tell me when we were on the carpet? And you give that child a moment to express themselves. But I noticed that, and I would have done exactly the same thing she did. Otherwise, your whole lesson is out the window. Every child wants to share because that little girl got her chance, and they all want their chance. And I noticed that in a lot of classrooms. We want to make sure everyone gets heard. We're answering them, and then it all breaks loose. It's all crazy. So these are resources for Tucker Turtle. I put them here for your for you to be able to click links. This is the video that I just showed. This is a book that you can just print PDF and we can use our little binder and you can have books. I know Miss Chantel brings them to you already made. So the next time she visits, I can request a bunch to come. But Tucker Turtle Stories, there's so many, a wide variety that they address specific needs in your classroom. These are these different solution kits. They have these mini cards, they have larger cards like you saw in the classroom, they have poster versions, and it's all on the Pyramid website. So have at it, and if you need to print and you want to laminate them, I think that's a fantastic idea to have it in access and easy access to your students, especially after you teach the solutions. You can't just put solution cards in the room and expect the kids to know exactly what they're for. You have to have these lessons. Teach one solution each day. It's going to take time, but once they have that the whole library of these solution cards and they've practiced, they're independent then. They're problem solvers. And that's what we want to build. We want to build problem solvers. These are different techniques, the steps. You can print this for yourself, make it into a poster, send them home for those families who may need a little guidance from Tucker Turtle. They can go to the website themselves. There's Tucker Turtle for Home. So you can just have them go and see these resources, read these books with their children at home. Non-nappers, both centers, well, all three buildings have non-nappers, and they range in different age groups. So the goals for these children cannot be to lay still without sleeping for 2 hours. It's just not feasible. They're young children. So I ask that every classroom has a visual timer. Set the timer for 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your age group. Your itty bitties may not understand the timer component, but to see it tick down and over time, they might develop that skill. And then you can reward them with a quiet activity, a book. You can reward them with paper and crayons. Now, if they take advantage of that privilege, you obviously have to take the privilege away until they are capable of using it appropriately. But to have them have the ability to earn it and then use it for the time that they're supposed to remain quiet is going to be more successful than just giving them nothing for the extra hour and a half that they're expected to lay there still, because they can't do that. I don't even know if I could do that. So even if it's just a stuffed animal, you want to give them, maybe they get Tucker Turtle at rest time. If they lay nice and quiet for 20 to 30 minutes, the timer goes off. You get the whole Tucker Turtle today if you do that. And then all they're doing is playing with puppet Tucker Turtle quietly. But if they're not quiet, they have to give Tucker Turtle back. So please, if you want quiet activity bags, I know Miss Katie made a bunch of them and they're very successful in some classrooms. I will order the items and get you the little bags. They're just pencil case bags, or I can get you the pencil boxes, whatever you prefer. And you can have them, maybe 5 or 6 of them in the classroom, and they go to your non-nappers if they are successful in the patiently waiting. Some of them are just going to fall asleep in those 20 to 30 minutes, but some of them just won't. So those are the ones who will get the quiet activities, and then at least they will be occupied for the remainder of the nap time. Okay, so we've had some success with people who have applied. Now, there is a different page for each building, each license number. So this one's for Sneads Ferry Quality. There's a separate one for Sneads Ferry 2, separate one for Holly Ridge. But there is a link here. Okay, so after this, I'm going to send out the PowerPoint to you. Click the link. I already pinned it in our Teams. So if you go to Teams for Sneads Ferry Quality, you will see this and you will see the provider number. Those are the 2 items you need from me. The portal will need your license, and the portal will need to check your addresses if you haven't updated your address. So all those things you'll need. It should be very simple, but if you have any problems, any hiccups, I'd be happy to help you, because some people have some strange components because their address wasn't changed. Maybe their NCID password expired because it's over a year, so we have to redo that. So different things can happen. But here's the link. Here's the provider number. Those are the things you need from me. And if you don't have success doing it, just let us know. These are the Teams links. If you have yet to join, I put them here. So when I send out the PowerPoint, all you have to do is go in to the PowerPoint, click, and join. But you do have to have the app downloaded first. Download Teams first, then click, and you'll be able to go and join. But if you don't have Teams downloaded and you're not logged in, it's not going to know that you want to join because they're not connected. These are free resources here. I've shared them before. They're great resources about how to set behavioral expectations. It provides you with schedule components, classroom management strategies, printable resources. So I suggest you go in. I created an account, or you can create your own account because it's free, and use the resources they have there. Cox Campus provides free trainings that give you CEUs, so you can get contact hours this way. Chantel sent it to us, and many of us have taken their courses and really benefited from them. A lot of the classroom management courses show you things in action, like I did with Tucker Turtle. But you're going to see a lot more chaos in these Cox Campus videos because it is literally a classroom just free choice time, and you're going to watch a teacher engage with some students, help solve problems if that's the course you're taking, and what they do. Then you're going to be able to critique what they did and what you would do differently, watch other videos, other interactions, and really grow as an educator because you're able to take a classroom walk to other classrooms without actually going to other classrooms. You're watching them in real time without any fluff. They're not pretending. This is real interactions. So your trainings that must get done. Miss Ruby made that beautiful PowerPoint for everybody. So if you do need to get your trainings done, she gives you step-by-step instructions. And that link, I think I put it in the Teams, but if I didn't, I will put it in there as well. So if you have to do your health and safety, your recognizing and responding child abuse and maltreatment, or fire safety, which is every year, it will be in there from Miss Ruby. And these are live links as well, but I don't give you instructions. So Ms. Ruby's PowerPoint is very helpful that way. NC Feld has to be taken in your first year with us, and it teaches you how to write lesson plans and what the standards are in early childhood in North Carolina. So it is extremely beneficial. I recommend you take it within your first 6 weeks with us. That way you're knowledgeable of what's happening in these classrooms. When you walk into a classroom, and it looks like children are just playing and teachers are just playing with them, there's actually reason behind it. There's a meaningful lesson happening, and it just looks like play. When the teacher is asking open-ended questions, or if a toddler, infant, young twos teacher is just talking at children about what they're doing, they are learning in that classroom, because the more a young toddler teacher verbalizes the occurrences in the classroom, the more verbal skills and language skills those toddlers are absorbing, and they're able to reciprocate later on in life because they received that vocabulary when they were younger. Then when you get to the preschool classrooms, you're going to have conversations back and forth. You're going to ask them questions about what if or why did they do this, and then you can learn from that child what their reasoning is behind things, what their logic is behind things. And then you can build on that and understand where that child is developmentally. So communication is so important. If we don't see teachers talking, we don't hear them talking, then there might not be too much learning happening if they're not talking, because that questioning, the inquisitiveness. Also, it's beneficial to just listen to kids, right? We just sit there and we listen, and then we gain insight, and then we might ask them a question or two. But really listening to your students and absorbing what they're giving you, that information they're sending your way, sometimes their ideas can really surprise us, but we have to take that time to listen. CPR is done by Miss Ruby or myself, mostly Miss Ruby lately. And if you need CPR, she will track you down. Again, questions or comments, I encourage you to complete that staff survey. It is so important to us as administration, Joyce and myself as owners, to make sure that we are doing everything we can to support you, but we don't know what you need and what you want unless you fill this survey out or you come talk to us. But the survey, it's just telling us without having to have that feeling some people have about being judged or that awkwardness, which, I mean, you shouldn't feel awkward with me, but I understand some people just feel that way. So the survey is your opportunity to express yourself, things that you want, things that you would think would be great for our center, you'd like to see happen. If we don't know that there's a problem, we cannot help address it. Ms. Joyce says this all the time, and I want to make sure that you know we have an open door policy. So if you just have a tiny question, a tiny concern, it could grow and it could build on other ones, and then it just becomes something that explodes. So you can message me, you can come into the office and talk to us, you can call me, and we can discuss these things that are on your mind, because we want to make sure that you're in a work environment that you enjoy. Because if you enjoy working at our schools, schools, then the kids are going to feel it and they're going to enjoy being in your classroom. So, Miss Joyce or Miss Ruby, do you have anything to share? Okay. Miss Barbie?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
All right. I thank everybody for joining us today, and I will send everything out when it is ready. YouTube video usually takes about 2 hours to 3 hours to upload, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you. I think we had the most visits today in our meeting. I think 33 attendees. So thank you so much, everybody.
I was thinking that as well. Thank you all.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Have a great evening, everybody.
You too.